Right, Sean, Katie, Sean. So, following on from our epic series, video game cinematics.
Yeah.
We finished Assassin's Creed. We didn't.
Yeah.
There's a few we didn't say. We didn't say Rogue. Someone said Rogue.
I know, because you said there was a few of them missing, didn't you?
Yeah, there was Rogue. Liberation wasn't in there, but I noticed no one was asking for Liberation because it's quite a crap game.
Is it bad?
Yeah, and there was also Odyssey, which didn't get very many. Nobody asked about Odyssey either. Not because it's a crap game, but because it's similar to Origins and
it's not really like Assassin's Creed kind of.
It's a good game. I think it's a good game anyway, but you probably wouldn't like it because there wasn't HUDs.
Yeah. I know. There's one thing I went into with those reactions was HUDs and haystacks.
Yeah.
And there was very little HUDs towards the end of it.
Yeah. So I thought we'd move on to another one. Another series, and we can get this done in one video actually. Because although there is 4 games, we're only going to react to 3 of the trailers because the 4th one's a bit bleh.
Okay.
Now this is one of those games that is tattooed on my body. Nope.
Oh no, that's the
That's Skyrim.
Yeah.
We've already done that. It's these. Yep. This is called Mass Effect.
I don't think I've heard. I might have heard of the name, but I don't think I know anything about the actual game.
So it's a trilogy. Came out a long time ago.
Okay.
And it was that popular. They did a new Legendary Edition, which came out 2 or 3 years ago.
Is that the one?
No.
Oh.
The one's it's got nothing to do with the actual trilogy.
Oh.
So let's watch the first trailer and we'll have a bit of a talk. It's 3 games. That's why it's a trilogy. Then we'll see. Let's see what we see. Now.
Incoming transmission from Novaria.
Are you there? Requesting immediate aid.
Oh, that's a lizard thing. Is it a lizard?
Don't say that about Garrus.
Setting new course for Calisthene.
Do apologise.
Decisions lie ahead. None of them easy. Rated M for mature.
Oh, is that the trailer? Oh no.
BioWare. I don't think that was the trailer.
What was that?
Is this the second trailer? Might have been a teaser.
He has no idea what he's getting into.
Oh, this is another.
He's recruiting an impressive team. Assassins, scientists, biotics.
Right.
He's scouring the galaxy for the best.
It's- Yeah, he's
Okay.
awesome. He's awesome, isn't he?
Purgatory.
Yeah, this is the second game. We haven't paused it, but this is the second game.
That first one was really quick. I didn't even realise that it was.
Yeah. I didn't feel like... That was weird. Yeah.
Even Sonny Tuchanka.
Tuchanka. Everyone wishes they were from Tuchanka, but they're not. That's a Mass Effect inside fear.
Oh my god, what the heck is that?
Which one?
That?
The big worm.
What do you mean, which one?
That is a Thresher Maw.
Oh god, all its innards and bits.
Yeah. Someone's going to headbutt him soon.
An unlikely band of brothers. Tough, but are they loyal? If Shepard can't gain their trust, they're all as good as dead.
Yep, indeed. Right, okay, so we'll leave it there. That's the end of... Oh. No, it's not. This is going to take some explaining. I'm going to have to pause it in a second and then I'll explain some of it. As you can see, it's quite a different game to Assassin's Creed.
Mm-hmm.
Look how awesome everyone is.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, everyone's pretty cool. Headbutt that, Krogan. Yeah. You don't know what I said, but I said it.
Okay. suit or is that him?
What do you mean?
Like,
What's he wearing?
yeah.
That's a suit.
Right, okay. That looks like it'd be so uncomfy to wear.
It probably is.
Okay.
Is that title card? Yes. So that was Mass Effect 2. Alright, let's go back to the first one. And let's try and break
The first one
it
was
down.
like really short. I didn't realise the first one ended.
Yeah. So, Katie, meet Commander Shepard,
Okay.
Garrus Vicarian, and
Okay.
Ashley Williams. That doesn't help you.
No.
Okay, so
They are names.
this game is set in, I think it's something like 2148.
Okay.
Obviously 22nd century, but what's happened is Earth has essentially travelled away from Earth. They got to Mars, they found a sort of outpost type thing, and then they discovered something called a mass relay. Right?
Right.
Now the mass relay, it turns out, was left by a precursor civilization. But it still operates. And what it's able to do, there's loads of them, there's loads of mass relays. What they're able to do is send ships with mass warp drives through different parts of the galaxy. So essentially it opens up the galaxy for space travel.
Right.
And Earth joins a sort of coalition of sorts of loads of races and species all living together. One of them are the Turians.
You told me not to call them lizard people, but
Yeah, they're
that's...
Turians. Everyone wishes they were Turian, but they're not. Turians are cool, but they're also slightly slimy. Ashley, as you can tell, is human. I'll try and show you some of the others. This is a Geth. You might not know it, but this is a Geth. Some of the people that you saw. This is the elusive man. That's his name.
He's got really glowy eyes.
Oh yeah, he's weird.
This is the second game, this one.
Yep, this is Miranda Lawson. Now these are the ones that you need to concern yourself with. This is Thane Krios. He is a... I can't remember if it's I don't think it's a Drell, I think he's a Krell. Or it might be a Drell, actually a Drell. And this big boy is... He's called Grunt. That's his name.
Grunt.
He's called Grunt. He's got a bit of a backstory, I won't go into it, but he basically chooses his name, and he calls himself Grunt. He is what you would call a Krogan,
Okay.
who are essentially... I'm trying to think of a civilization that you could compare them to. Maybe the Spartans. They're considered the absolute best fighters in the galaxy,
Right.
which is why when he sees a giant worm,
He
he doesn't run, he shoots it, he kills it. You actually meet quite a few Krogans in your travels.
Okay.
But basically what happens in the first game is an Earth settlement, Eden Prime, is set upon by monsters. Geth. Cybernetic life forms.
Right.
And some of the inhabitants of Eden Prime are turned into husks. They have their life force pulled out of them, and they're basically turned into zombies.
Okay.
Rogue Turian named Saren is doing it. This is quite a very complicated game. I'm going to try and not complicate it for you.
I'm just trying to remember all the names.
So then there's a beacon. There's a random beacon on Eden Prime that's apparently been getting dug up. It's like an artifact on Eden Prime. And Commander Shepard interacts with it, and he sees visions of a sort of machine cybernetic cross that basically destroys the world, leaves it. And this artifact was left behind by a race called the Protheans, who the people of the galaxy think were the precursor civilization that left the mass relays. And basically they left it as a warning, basically going, there's something coming, they're going to destroy everything.
Right.
So Commander Shepard has to go on a mission to stop Saren, figure out what he can about this supposed threat, and save the world. That's a lot of information. That's just the first game,
a lot
by
of
the way.
information, yeah.
But this was made by a company called BioWare. You might have heard of them. You might not have. You probably won't have. And what BioWare specialise in is games that have multiple choices, multiple endings, you know,
Right.
multiple sort of interactions. And it's one of those rare instances where sometimes you'll get like one game where it's got loads of choices and that impacts the ending of the first game, but it doesn't really have all that much of an impact on the second game. This one, every decision in every game matters.
Right.
And there's 3 games. So there's decisions you can make in the first game that'll impact the third game. Who survives, who does what, who does everything. Because people can just randomly die on missions. So you've got to be careful.
Okay.
I know I've got a very big fly in this room. I don't know where it's come from. These, I can't remember what these are called. What the crud are they called? But these are essentially the bad guys of the second game. Something happens in the first game and you're forced to work with the elusive man, the guy with the weird eyes, and he sends you on a mission to attack, to stop these, because whole colonies of Earth beings are being taken. Not just harvested like they were in the first one, but they're just being taken
Okay.
by the giant spaceship that you saw. That's quite an awesome shot, actually. I never saw that. That's an awesome shot, isn't it? So yeah, he sends you on a mission, but you've sort of fell out of disrepute because in this galaxy there's something called the Citadel, the Council, and the Citadel is essentially the sort of the mass hub of all the species. It's essentially like sort of, I don't even know what you would call it in Earth terms, but it's like the center of the galaxy.
Okay.
In most ways, it's where the council live, which is 3 councillors, all elected. I think there's a Solarian, an Asarian, and an Aturian to start off with. 2 of those you don't know what they are, 'cause you haven't seen any yet. But those are 2 other races that are in it. There's Asarian, there's Solarians. But it becomes very obvious when you play the game who are what type of species. So the Krogans are like the really sort of violent. They love fighting. That's what they're made for. Is fighting. The Solarians are scientists. They're all, they're very clever, and they have a very bad history with the Krogans. Where's that come from? But there's really well written sort of outward story where every sort of species is sort of interacts with all the other species differently, including Earth. Earth is seen as the humans. Actually, I shouldn't say Earth, but yeah. So it's quite a big deal. But you're forced to go away from the Citadel at this point and go and help an Earth-based company called Cerberus, who are very anti-Citadel because they think that the Citadel look down on Earth and humans because they're just sort of the new kids on the block. They don't really care about them. So when entire colonies are going missing, they don't really help.
Right.
So Commander Shepard is sent out to help them. The reason I'm calling him Commander Shepard and I'm not telling him his first name is because you never learn his first name. You pick his first name, but because they can't write what you pick into the story, everyone refers to him as either Shepard or Commander Shepard. He's quite cool. Any questions so far? This is only game 2. I'm trying my best not to spoil it because of most of the games that I would like you to play. Mass Effect is one of them. One of the big ones.
Not really. I mean, obviously, I won't be able to remember everything, but if I eventually play it, I probably will.
Yeah.
It's mainly just trying to understand the general grasps of the game and what type of games they are.
Yeah. So you don't spend much time on your actual spaceship. The spaceship's called the Normandy. It's really cool. Because, again, mass relays are essentially the things that allow you to travel across the galaxy. And that's kind of like where Mass Effect comes from. They're called Mass Effect fields. That's what helps you travel.
Mass relays, are they just like essentially like space roads?
Sort of, yeah. They're like the big sort of power conduits that charge your ship up and shoot you off into the next place. Like the next section of the galaxy.
Okay. So you have to go through them.
You have to go through them. Yeah, unless you're in a sort of certain galaxy. It's hard to explain. They refer to them as galaxies, but then there's also big, different galaxies. You know, it's complicated. It's sciencey. I'm not very sciencey. This might be Mass Effect 3. Oh, look. It's a ladybird. Just in case you didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
I did see this one. This kind of blew my head off a little bit. So I do think... Yes, it is.
This is Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's what they do. That's a husk. What the devil?
2 million dead in the first day. Another 7 million by the end of the first week. Every defense annihilated. All our forces on the run. Regrouping somewhere. Reports are coming in from other major cities. It's a well-coordinated attack. So far it's been damned effective. Don't know what they are, what they want, or where they came from.
Oh, the noise.
Is he in Big Ben?
Yes, indeed he is. Well, if it's showing you this, I can probably tell you more of the story than you need to know.
One thing is certain. If Shepard doesn't bring help soon, there won't be an Earth left to save.
It's a lot of pressure.
I know.
Oh, it's a ladybird girl. That's awesome. It's not awesome, but it is awesome. Oh yeah.
I mean, they're sucking the souls out of people and turning them into weird zombie things.
That's not even the half of it.
I mean, it's not even the half of it.
Not even the half of it. Get ready, because you're about to have your head blown off. That was awesome. Wasn't that awesome?
I mean, it looked good, yeah.
So, before we watch the final stretch, so you know how I was telling you that there was an ancient beacon?
Yeah, that was turning people into husks.
It wasn't the beacon that was turning people into husks, it was Geth, they were called.
Oh,
They were bad guys, they were machines, essentially.
right.
They were turning people into husks.
Okay. The beacon was... that was like an artifact, wasn't it?
Yep, that was the artifact. And it foretold of a threat that was coming.
Okay.
Yep. The threat is this.
Okay.
The Reapers.
I thought they were like people.
Nope.
Well, not like people, but like they were like living beings. Because the way it looks, they look like legs and then there were arms. I was like,
I
oh my
thought
god.
these were living beings.
I was like, oh my god, they look like giant, massive living...
That's what they are.
Yeah.
These are giant cybernetic monsters called Reapers. This was the threat that the beacon gave Shepard.
Right.
So in the first game, you're told about them. You know, Saren has something to do with them, and you have to essentially stop them. In the second game, you don't know if it's something to do with the Reapers. You get sort of warnings and dreams and stuff about whatever the bad guys in, because you don't know what they are in the second game. They're just this random things who are taking entire human colonies. You don't know what they are. In the third game, the Reapers arrive, and they are just as scary as you see. They are proper scary monsters.
Because it was like, it's like a ship. Oh no, but then they look like legs and that looks like arms. Like, wow, I was like, what is it?
And there's millions of these.
Oh.
And so what they do is they turn up, and it is as was prophesied in the beacon. They are here to destroy everything. They're not. It's not prejudice or anything like that. They don't let certain species. They just want to kill everything.
Oh.
Anything that isn't cybernetic is killed.
Okay.
The husks are essentially their foot soldiers. They're like their grunts.
Because they look like slightly cybernetic. Because like
cybernetic implants. Yeah. Because that is something that's involved in this. You do get things called cybernetic implants, which essentially, you know how you saw Thane, he sort of shot something.
Yeah.
And
it kind of lifted them up.
Yeah, you get things like that, which are, and you can choose to do that in the game as well if that's something you want to get. You get things like just your regular soldier. You know, you get, but there's, I don't know if you call it magic, but there's sort of magic in it as well, which gives you other kinds of powers. I always try to get the best of absolutely everything, so I'm just a badass when I'm fighting. But yeah, this is quite scary. One of the first place that the Reapers actually hit is Earth. Why? Why, you might ask, why Earth? They're fairly new to the galaxy. Why Earth? Because they've heard of a man
Oh, it's because of him.
called
Because of
Shepard.
so they're afraid of Shepard.
Not afraid of Shepard, but they recognise him as their biggest threat. They don't feel emotions. They're robots.
So statistically speaking, they know their chances of survival dim if he's alive, basically. Okay.
Although, when you talk to, because I think you talk to at least 2 of them over the course of 3 games, you might even talk to 3 or 4, they aren't all that worried. And there is a specific reason why they're not all that worried. And I'm trying not to give away there's a really big moment in the game where you kind of sit there and you go, oh crap. And even, like, me playing it is why I love the game so much. Even me playing it, I was kind of sitting there going, why am I fighting? Why am I fighting these things?
Is it because, is Shepard one of them somehow?
No.
Is it because there's something that's going to destroy? They're not actually killing them. They're kind of protecting them against something.
Nope. These are viewed, just to give you a small thing, from their point of view, this is them fully evolved. They can't evolve any further than this.
Okay.
They do take the odd bit and piece from certain civilizations and add it to themselves, but not so much that they change.
You're left thinking, why am I fighting these things?
Yeah.
Is it because they were wronged by the Citadel?
No.
But they
I don't honestly. If you could get it, you're a better person than me, because even playing the first and second game, I didn't expect what was coming during the third game.
So are these the people that were the ancient civilization that left all the relay things, or no?
Maybe. Interesting thought, isn't it? Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Why would they build the relays?
Because they were like the unevolved versions, and they knew that they needed to evolve, so they were like, oh, we're gonna bait everyone into falling into our plans.
Maybe.
This
is definitely one of those games where I would like you to play it, because I think if you play this,
I would like to play it. It's quite interesting. It's like a whole, not just a world, but like a whole
universe.
And
there are various moments throughout it where you kind of get your mind blown a little bit.
It's crazy that there are people that can just make this stuff.
I know.
Like, who were the people that just thought, you know what? Here.
So BioWare, but the third game got quite a bit of flack because a lot of people didn't like the ending.
Oh.
I say the ending. There's a few different versions of the ending, depending on how you play the game.
I assume it's one of them just at all that gets destroyed.
Believe it or not, there's a version in the second game where everyone dies, including you.
Oh. So then there is no third game if that's the case.
One of the first, because I've played this game loads of times.
Is there a way
now.
you can go back and fix it? So because I assume they're all linked.
Mm-hmm.
So it affects. So can you go back and replay the first one to try and change the ending? Surely you can.
That's what gives these games so much replayability, is that you can just go back and keep playing them.
Because imagine if you're you get to the third one, you're like, oh, that's I don't like that ending. I want to go back and change it. So you go back to the first game, you replay it, and you think you're doing it properly, and then you get to, and then it's not the same, but something that's not as good, and you're like, oh, go back and play it again.
That's the thing. That's why it's so awkward. Is that you might make a decision in the first game that ultimately impacts the third game.
And you don't know.
You don't know, so you go back to the first game to play it again, but then that decision also affects the second game, so then you have to replay the whole trilogy to get the ending that you think you want.
Really, it's genius, isn't it? Because they're just getting people to play the game over and over again, aren't they?
That's why when the Legendary Edition came out, which was all 3 games, it still sold it. It still sold there. So let's watch the... Look at that shot, man. That's awesome.
That's like a poo your pants moment, that
Oh,
is.
yeah.
That's like a, oh, well...
And there was a noise, I can't remember, you know, when he's in here, this noise, hold on.
They are what they want, or where they came from.
Oh, it makes my blood curdle, that noise. So that noise is basically the noise that happens whenever a Reaper's near you.
Oh, so you could just be minding your own business and all of a sudden that starts playing. See, that would just like give me heart palpitations if I was playing this
Oh,
game.
it's so good though. It's all of it rests on Shepard.
That's so much pressure.
Only Shepard can save them. So let's watch this. I'm a bit cautious about this because I don't know if it's the 4th game. If it's the 4th game, we're not going to watch it.
Okay.
I think it might be the 3rd game because I think the 3rd game had a lot of cinematics.
I think, yeah, it looks like it is, isn't it?
There's Ashley. She doesn't look like Ashley anymore.
He's got his own army, so is there no way to fix the husks?
No. No, they are gone at that point. No saving them.
And does it
That's
spread?
the Normandy.
Does it spread kind of like an infection? So like.
No, you don't. It's not so much an infection as it is sort of they put you on this spike and it just drains you.
Right. So the husks themselves can't do anything to you except for kill you.
Yep. So these are also. It showed you the Normandy. I want to show it. That's the Normandy there. Oh, beautiful ship. That you are the commander of. Look at that, man. That's awesome. There's a lot of memes, and me and my best friend send each other memes about Mass Effect all the time because I must play this game at least every semi-annually. I play it every 6 months or so. I say this game, these 3 games, I play all 3 games because it's awesome. So yeah, basically what happens is in the 3rd game, Shepard is almost sort of sidelined, despite the fact that he constantly warns the council that the Reapers are coming. Before they come, he's saying to them, they are coming at some point. We all need to be ready. They don't listen to him. And that, when you play the game, that's the thing that'll annoy you the most. Because from the first game on, he's constantly warning people that these things are coming. And they don't listen to him. So, but then, when the galaxy's in danger, they all go, you need to save us. And it's like...
I would be so petty in that insert, but no, save yourselves.
Yeah.
Save yourself.
So in the 3rd game, the Reapers essentially invade. They start with Earth. They proper desolate Earth. They don't fully destroy it. They're like pockets of resistance against them, but you saw what the Reapers are. There's not much you can do against that. So they sort of send Shepard away back into the galaxy to recruit people. Not just to fight the ones here, but to fight all the Reapers. They say that only together can they stand against the Reapers. So the 3rd game is essentially you out in the galaxy, helping people, negotiating, fighting beside people in other wars, so that they'll come and help you. There's quite a lot of reading as well. Actually, you have to understand the full history of the thing to fully appreciate it. I still think this is up there as one of the best video game series of all time. Like I say, a lot of people didn't like the 3rd one, but it was more the ending than the actual game.
That's because they were rubbish and they didn't have a good ending.
No, but there's certain parameters you have to reach to get each ending.
Right, and they just think it was too difficult to obtain.
Yeah, there's one in particular that's really, really hard to get, and that relies on all 3 games being played a certain way. So much so that you would have to sit there and watch other people doing it in order to do it. It's kind of like, but to me, I still enjoyed the endings. Like the ending that I always get now, because I've played it that many times. The ending that I always get, I like it. I'm not that bothered. Oh, size of the fire, bigger than my head. These, you might ask, this is the Paragon. This is the Renegade. And there are things that you can do in the second and third game. Sort of actions that you can take in order to sort of make different decisions. So like the Paragon is the good one. That's sort of like when you might talk someone down from doing something horrible. A Renegade's where you kind of just go, well, I'll just shoot them. You could sort of do both, and that also impacts the ending. Certain choices impact it. Sometimes it's better not to do a certain decision. You might think that doing the Paragon decision is the best thing to do, but it's actually better not to do it. And it is sort of, it's very, very, very mind-blowing. When you play it as a whole, I think you would get to the end of this series, the third game, and sit there and go, and probably be like, I'm not entirely sure what to do anymore. There's also a conundrum at the end, toward the end, that I think you would struggle with.
I'd probably struggle with all of them. Because you said about how they can all just die in the second one. That'd be me. I would die in the second one.
So in the second one, there's a mission, pretty much the last mission, where it basically says to you, black and white in your face as you're playing it, it goes, are you sure you want to do this mission now? And it kind of goes, you kind of sit there and go, have I done everything? No, I don't want to do this mission now. No, not yet. Not yet. And the mission's, I don't think it's spoiling anything for you, but the mission's essentially called the suicide mission. Because there is scenarios where your entire team survive, and this is like 12 people, by the way. This is like your core team who you take out with you to help you fight. Like your whole ship's got a crew on it, but these are like your core team. People like Garrus and Ashley and Miranda are all part of your team, and these can die. These people can die. So there's eventualities where the whole team survives. There's eventualities where 1 or 2 of them die, 3 or 4, 5 or 6. You know, whole sections of them can die. Or there is the absolute dog worst ending, which is everyone dies, including you.
That would be me. I would do that. Not hold that much hope that I would survive.
In that scenario, I would give you advice. I would tell you.
Yeah, I'd like to think you'd be giving me advice throughout all of the gameplays.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to be sitting there going, do this.
I know, but
because you have to learn.
I know.
You have to learn that your actions have consequences.
Well, I already know that.
Any questions?
But so if you die in the second one, like if everyone dies in the second one, how can you play the third one?
You can't. You've got to start again.
From the beginning?
Not from the very beginning. It does save it before that mission, so you can sort of
I'm just gonna
fix everything.
Imagine if you had to go back all the way to the first game.
But that's another scenario where we'd be sitting there going, make sure you save it here. Because I do know there's key moments in all the games where it's probably best that you save it, because you might just... In one part of me wants to go, well, no, I don't want you to do that.
Because then I would just I want to go back and fix it.
Apart from the suicide mission, I would probably... I would be saying... Which... Before that one, I would be going, right, save it. Because you might make a decision that you really regret later on. But apart from that, all the rest of them, I would like to be like, you need to make this decision. It's no good me making this, because I know how this ends up. The more I think about it now, the more I think we really should get you to play this game, because there's not many games like this. Let us know if you'd like us to see any other questions.
That's too much pressure.
I don't think of the views.
It's too much pressure. I get frustrated playing games
like Call of Duty.
Just regular games.
Yeah.
Imagine how frustrated I would be playing this. I'm also not that good of a gamer.
Yeah. There are hard missions in this as well.
At least have some you're not that bad.
No.
I was like, oh yeah, like I'm not that good. But it's like, yeah, I agreed with this. You should at least be like, oh, you're not the worst person in the world.
The thing is, this isn't like COD where you're playing against other people who've probably played it for 3 million years. This is like, the more you play it, the better you get at it.
So we'd at least have a chance.
Oh yeah. I wouldn't make you play the game if you didn't have a chance. But by no means would we be playing it on very easy or anything like that. Any other questions?
No.
Which series of games would you more like to play? Assassin's Creed or Mass Effect?
I think I'd be rubbish at all of them. So.
I think you would as well.
Thank you for that. Really inspires hope.
No, I don't think it would be crap. I think, again, because Assassin's Creed, apart from the later games, your decisions don't really matter. Like, they're not like open-ended decisions. The character makes the decision for you, whereas in this, the decisions really do matter. I think you should play this one first, my personal opinion. I think you should play this one first. If and when we do decide to actually get you to play them. I will figure it out eventually, but we'll start with Mass Effect.
Okay.
Yeah, let us know what you think of Mass Effect. Let us know some of the cinematics that you would like us to react to. Say something cool about Mass Effect that I missed. Don't spoil anything. I've really tried my best not to spoil all the big moments here. It's really hard to, because you can't really react to the second and third one without telling you what happened in the first one. I think I've done okay though. You've learned a bit. Yeah, let us know some stuff. Don't spoil it. Like the video, subscribe, ding the bell, let me notified when we upload. We upload every day. Anything else you want to say?
No.
Do you know what the other thing about this game is? It really makes... It's one of those games where it makes you feel small. Despite... I don't mean small as in little. I mean small as in you, just... It's literally just you. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is a cosmic threat, essentially. So it kind of makes you feel... But that doesn't really make sense, because it's kind of like the entire galaxy's going, well, if Shepard can't beat them, no one can. But in that same thing, throughout the entirety of the third game, you're kind of sitting there going, well, poor Shepard's only one person. It is awesome. Think about how stressed you are just thinking about it.
I know,
right?
I don't
You would
like-
enjoy it.
It's too much pressure.
It's only a game. Chill out.
No, but it's just people watching me. I'd feel bad for the people watching me play it, knowing I'm butchering it.
Yeah, that'd be the thing. You'd make a certain decision, and there'd be people in the comments going,
No, why did you do that?
"What has she done?"
I would just.
I love that. That's why I think it'd be a good one, because it just it'd be you.
It'll be
thinking-
me. I'll get to. People won't tell me. I'll get to the third game, and then people will be like, "Oh, you know that decision you made in the first game, and you did this, or you that." Yeah,
Yeah. There's one that I can think of that I think you will make a certain decision, and I can already predict now that you'll probably get it wrong.
No, don't say that.
But it'll not just be the commenters and the people watching. It'll be me sitting here trying to hide that you've made a mistake. I'll be sitting there going, "What have you done?"
Like it. That's no, because for every single thing I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
looking at you.
To be
like,
fair though, it does let you know when you're making an important decision. 'Cause generally it tends to go, right, okay, you either have to do this or you have to do that. You can't do both. You have to do one.
that's even more pressure.
So we've got Katie Shepherd coming soon.
Still,
Thank you for watching.
I'm already
I
getting
didn't-
stressed
I didn't
over
think-
it.
I didn't think a
I'm
game-
already feeling stressed over that idea.
Oh, it's been so much fun. Thank you for watching.
I need to